Welcome everyone. Today we're looking at the ISTE standards and horizon reports for Unit 4. The first ISTE standard, promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility standards for teachers. Teachers understand local and global societal issues and responsibilities in an evolving digital culture and exhibit legal and ethical behavior in their professional practices. The horizon reports that we used were the 2016 Higher Education Edition and the 2016 K through 12 edition. In the first article, bring your own device, time to adoption, horizon, 1 year or less. Delivery of content. Instructors are allowing students to bring devices for testing textbooks. Augmented and virtual reality, time to adoption, 2 to 3 years. It talked about physicians and teaching and how they can use virtual reality before actual surgery. And then makerspace, time to adoption, 2 to 3 years, creating a workshop environment for students.
For the Horizon Report 2016 K through 12 edition, for the duties are changing for the teachers to incorporate curating, facilitating learning experiences, and encouraging students. They equip the students with the skills needed for success in higher education and the workforce. Wealth of online content means that teachers are no longer the sole source of information in the classroom. Improvements are needed in the area of digital literacy, including digital learning strategies, and professional development and trainings will play a vital role for teachers.
I also have the Horizon Report 2016 K-12 edition. Teachers need to be current with new technologies and attend trainings that will enhance their teaching through technology. Once again, we need to teach students digital literacy. With the new era of teaching through technology, teachers need to be able to teach students how to use information and communicate technologies to find, understand, evaluate, create, and communicate digital information. And also teachers also need to find a balance with the connected and unconnected teaching. Teachers need to be able to balance online learning and teaching. They need to allow students to self-reflect and analyze, which will lead to meaningful discovery and deep understanding.
The next ISTE standard, digital citizen. Standards for students. Students recognize the rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world, and they act and model in ways that are safe, legal, and ethical. In the Bring Your Own Device article, students expect to be able to use whatever devices they choose to access content. Augmented and virtual reality. Students also reported increased motivation, improved confidence in their skills. And then makerspace, there's more collaborative learning.
The students are, for the students, greater expectations for engagement activities outside the classroom. With flipped classroom and blended learning, there are greater expectations on the students also. There is now a need for digital access outside of the classroom. In regards to poverty, this impacts students' ability to perform. The lack of sufficient resources affects them, and also initiatives not designed for underperforming population.
Online students need to be taught and aware of digital literacy. Once again, with the rapid changing work environment, they need to be ready. Blended formal and informal learning. Students should be able to apply their knowledge and express their learning. This is one thing that they should be able to do in school, which will benefit them with college, university studies, future employment, and allow them to reflect and keep focus in their studies.
Our next ISTE standard, digital citizenship, standards for coaches. Educational administrators model and facilitate understanding of social, ethical, and legal issues and responsibilities related to an evolving digital culture. In the learning analytics and adaptive learning, time to adoption, 1 year or less, benefiting instructors by better understanding student work habits. So now they're using data-driven instruction. There are some concerns, though, over privacy. Makerspaces. Washington University, it talked about how they're writing best practices policy for designing and implementing makerspaces. And then robotics, time to adoption, 4 to 5 years. The Natural Science Foundation, funding that brings together faculty from different disciplines in 2 universities for innovative robotic programs. So they're working together.
For the support, support is needed for the teachers to plan innovative ways to use technology. They need to support flexible learning environments and assessment models, and work with teachers and administrators. And for the poverty aspect, they can help with the lack of one-on-one engagement and inexperienced teachers that need support.
Also, there are two main barriers: is effective vision and leadership. Libraries and librarians, the existence of academic libraries or librarians on the campus can open the channels for students and also teachers to flourish using technology for the purpose of gaining confidence and ownership of the learning.
And our last ISTE standard, digital citizenship standards for administrators. Educational administrators promote an environment of professional learning and innovation that empowers educators to enhance student learning through the infusion of contemporary technologies and digital resources. Bring your own device. Universities and safety. Have students register their devices. Delivery of content, they're now using course apps. Learning analytics and adaptive learning. Students are now tracked and monitored in online classes. Makerspaces, mass makerspace, the Chinese Prime Minister is now funding this. And then effective computing, this is adoption 4 to 5 years. Stanford University is using UEd, which detects confusion in students.
For administration, we need to support new pedagogical approaches and flexible environments, financial challenges to innovation, create new departments or organizations to support growth, support teachers to incorporate more authentic learning approaches, and in regards to poverty, pool resources to help facilitate dialogue to increase awareness, have high expectations for students to minimize disparities, and learning technologies helping to identify lower performing students.
Administrators need to communicate with teachers and personalize learning for each student, which consists of strategies, solutions, and intervention that is aligned to the learner's goals through the use of technology. So it's important for them to have communication with the teachers. There has to be a balance with technology, one-on-one personalized learning goals, and teachers and students communication. And once again, with administrators, they need to make sure that teachers are actually doing the SMAR model that can be implemented in order to find a balance instead of just being on the computer nonstop with the students being on the computer on their class. That is the end of our presentation, Unit 4.